Assalamualaikum. Oops, it should be formal. This should be okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdul Muhammad bin Tajuluddin and my supervisor is Sir Hairul Azam bin Abdul Aziz. In this video, I would like to present my final year project about Quran Recital Competition Assessment using Fuzzy Logic Evaluation. The Quran Recitation Competition evaluates a participant's performance based on several factors, including tajweed, taranum, fasaha, and also vocal. Participants in the Quran Recitation Competition are usually assigned a point value of 100, with each point representing a linguistic word such as exceptional, excellent, and fairly good, and also so on. Evaluating participant performance is especially difficult because it involves human decision making, which is imprecise, ambiguous, and also unpredictable. This study employs the fuzzy evaluation method to assess participant performance at the Quran Recitation Competition in Klang District. The membership function graph was used to determine the membership value of each satisfaction level. When fuzzy numbers are used, the fuzzy markings are created more consistently. The satisfaction level of each participant's mark would then be evaluated at the end. The fuzzy markings with linguistic value would be obtained. The proposed method of assessment has a bright future in the evaluation of those participants' performance because it provides a more reasonable and intelligent evaluation with accurate findings while also introducing an alternate approach to assessing performance. For problem statement, the biggest issue is it's so difficult to measure subjective aspects when they are ambiguous. This problem arises because a number of panels will have distinct attitudes, experience, and tolerance during the assessment process. The scores obtained which differ, and thus the average score, which may include a decimal value, will be taken. Sometimes we will also got the same value of scores. Since the 100-point evaluation approach is commonly used in terms of the nominal importance of the linguistic value, it will be difficult to define the linguistic values for the points. Most of the time, the panels will feel very dissatisfied with their own evaluation results for the participants. Then, participants will always consider the tournament to be unfair because they themselves did not know the details for their performance. The main objective of the study is to create an alternative approach for measuring the competition in the Quran Recital using the fuzzy logic method. For the side objectives are first, to identify the performance of Qari and Qari'ah based on the recitation's evaluation of the Holy Quran. Second, is to maximize the participants' satisfaction with their own outcomes based on their own outputs. Third is to create the fairest playing atmosphere in the tournament when assessing the participants where all the competitors are satisfied with the system. The scope and limitation of the study are limited to any Quran recitation tournament organized by any school that evaluates 4 criteria. This research will focus only on the participant who participates in the recitation of the Quran tournament in Klang District between for year 2013 and 2015. The significance of the study, this will help the future researchers to use the study as their reference to assess the performances of the tournament participants. Furthermore, this can guide the judges or panels of the competition to evaluate the performance fairly towards the participants. The Holy Book of Islam is the Holy Quran. A few years ago until today, a lot of research has been done on the recitation of the Quran and also on the Quran recitation competition. By competition, many people can get to know how interesting and unique the symphony of the Quran recitation that be recited by Qari and Qari'ah by Abdul Hamid 2015. It states that the Quran reciting competition has had a spiritual, educational, economic, and social impact on the life of Muslim Ummah. Tunku Abdul Rahman, the first Prime Minister, was the founder of the International Quran Recital Competition, which has been held annually in Malaysia since 1961. The program was unveiled at Merdeka Stadium in Kuala Lumpur on 9 March 1961. There are 4 elements to be evaluated in Quran Recitation Competition, which are vocals for 15 points, tajweed 40 points, fasaha 20 points, and also taranum 25 points. This can be supported by Department of Islamic Development Malaysia, which is JAKIM, on the rules for the International Quran Competition. Fuzzy evaluation is an overarching subject of phenomenon assessment that is influenced by multiple fuzzy variables. The basic principle of the fuzzy evaluation method is to define the evaluation variables, the normal factor evaluation grades, and the weights, and finally the values of the evaluation object will be determined by multi-layer composite operation. Previous studies that use this method, such as by Yusuf et al. 2013, that their research puts forward an argument on the use of the Likert scale ordinal values, which illustrates the linguistic terms of the degree of satisfaction experienced by employers in the output of graduates. And also by Dow et al. 2011, the authors proposed a fuzzy method used to evaluate the performance of students in the oral presentation. For methodology part, we will have 4 steps and our subject that we use is the participant from the SMK Jalan Kebun in the Quran Recitation Competition 2013 in Klang District. So, for the first step, the scores obtained by each participant from each school will be normalized and used as an input value of this evaluation. We must divide the overall maximum mark by the mark received from each criterion. A number in the range of 0 to 1 is referred to as normalized value in this table. It is already shown the criteria and its own normalized value. The membership function for the satisfaction level of the scores in the Quran reciting competition could be created using the calculation in this table, which displays the range as well as the graph equation. The membership feature graph is created in order to perform the fuzzification method. The input value is mapped to the membership function in this step to obtain the fuzzy membership value for that specific input value. The level of satisfaction would be proportional to the worth of each membership. For this figure, it depicts the membership function graph that is produced to carry out the fuzzification procedure in this second step. The figure above represents the satisfaction level of excellent and exceptional, which reflects the degree of membership of 0.2 and also 0.8 respectively. For the normalized value of 0.78 from the first criteria, the degree of satisfaction with criteria 1 is calculated as follows. The 0.2 and 0.8 is the level of membership value for each level of satisfaction, and 0.79 and 1.0 is the max degree of satisfaction. For the other criteria, also will be using the same formula. Finally, the participants' final mark for all criteria is calculated, where each of the degree of satisfaction from each criteria will multiply with the full scores of each criteria and divide with 100 scores. After getting the final mark, then we will compare the scores that use this method with the scores without using this method. So here is the results for all 10 participants obtained from fuzzy and non-fuzzy method. Most of the computation in the fuzzy evaluation technique is done as fuzzy sets with a range of 0 to 1. The results generated from this approach, as indicated in this table, are only in the range of 0 to 1. However, for today's modern practice adaptation, the marks should be changed to percentages. For example, participant 1 final mark is 0.69, but when transformed to a percentage, it is 69%. As shown in the table, the fuzzy marks obtained are clearly higher than the non-fuzzy marks. Aside from that, the fuzzy approach linguistic terms are more detailed because it includes the degrees of satisfaction for each linguistic terms. Using this information, we can simply describe each participant's performance. For example, participant 1 from SMK Jalan Bukit has a performance of very good at 1.00. It is more precise when compared to the non-fuzzy method typical final mark. In other words, using satisfaction levels, this approach can be used to compare the performance of participants who have the same final linguistic terms. Furthermore, even if their final marks are the same, we can tell them apart based on their performance. For example, participant 1 and participant 10 had the same total marks of 59 using the non-fuzzy method, despite having the same normalized value for the first criteria, but different normalized value for the other 3 criteria. In the second and final criteria, participant 10 has a higher normalized value than participant 1. It thus shows that both participants have almost a different degree of satisfaction in each criterion by using the calculation that we used to find the degree of satisfaction and the final mark, and with the support of using the fuzzy grade sheet. The difference between participants 1 and 2 were 0.6940 and 0.6945 respectively. As a result of the fuzzy evaluation method, although the difference is extremely minor, which is 0.0005, it has a significant impact on the rank position. This table demonstrates that despite having the same linguistic terms and marks for both methods, there are differences in the final mark by fuzzy evaluation method. As a result, we know that participant 10 outperforms participant 1. It is critical to have specific information in any situation that arises. Based on the evaluation result, it is clear that this method may provide additional information about the participant's performance for any type of criterion, tajweed, taranum, fasha, and also vocal. Furthermore, the use of linguistic terms appears to be more advantageous in that it allows participants to work harder in order to achieve the highest level of performance, while also competing with other rivals in the future competition. As a result, this technique could be used as an alternative method of assessing competition participants' performance, which could be more straightforward and manageable. The fuzzy evaluation has also improved the assessment of the competitors' regular procedures, resulting in a better outcome that can distinguish competitors' rankings. According to the results, tajweed is the most important factor in analyzing their performance, followed by Taranum, Fasaha, and also Vocal. The best participant receives the highest scores on nearly every criterion, with the highest scores among the rest. Based on the findings, it appears that the study's goals was met. Overall, this study suggests that performance evaluation has a promising future because it provides a more acceptable and intelligent evaluation with consistent and reliable results. This study suggests that future studies will be conducted for all authorities, such as judges or panels who are in charge of evaluating the competitors' performance, in order to improve their evaluating abilities and provide more acceptable outcomes. To obtain more precise information, the researcher should look for additional data in future studies, such as each competitor's attitude and appearance. It also for the purpose of achieving a specific outcome. This type of data has excellent historical series and is simple to convert, clean, and vary in applicability. With the support of MATLAB software and Microsoft Excel, this method can be implemented. Finally, the fuzzy jacket ranking index, fuzzy conjoint method, and fuzzy inference system are all recommended methods for evaluating people's performance. That's all from me, and thank you for listening.